How you doing, guys? This is Andrew at the Warrior Vault. I wanted to make this video as a response to Land of Mert's question, and his question was, I've noticed a lot of tutorials have their Flamespyre Phoenix primed black. Has anyone painted one of these? What color would you recommend? And in a nutshell, white. That's what I would recommend. Now, I've never painted one of these. I've painted the Frost, but I can show you how I would have painted it. I'm not the best painter. I've only been doing this hobby for a year and a half, but I do get a lot of compliments on my painting. So that being said, I can walk you through what I have here. Alright, this is my Frost Phoenix. And the reason why I put these pictures on here, because I wanted to show how I have the contrast in the wings. Now, if I was doing the flame, the wings would be a lot more contrast. It would be darker to light. Alright, the underside. Here's his face. I have some white primer because I primered the other wings up just to show. Alright, this is just a look at some fire I did before. This is a reverse effect as far as fire will be light and get to dark on the tail of the Phoenix. And I took this picture off of Google just to show that you can see here with this Phoenix we have, with the darker areas, the hotter areas, you have a lighter color, and then it goes darker as the wings expand. Now, of course, we're not really dealing with this. We also have a bird underneath all this, and the flames will be coming from the bird's wings, but we can get to that. Alright, so this is the end result after about 15 minutes of painting. I have my color contrast here, my 3 different colors, and then I have this here. I'll show you how I got there, and if you like the way this looks. And like I said, this is only part 1. I didn't start to do the wings at all. I just started to do the flames. I didn't do any highlighting. This is just the first step. Alright, the first thing I did was I primered everything white, because I feel like white's going to hold the color the best. The thing you got to remember is when you're using these kind of paints, is whatever you put underneath them will show through them. Like, you won't get the same color gold if you put brown on it rather than a bronze or, you know, a different kind of base coat. So that makes a huge difference when you're trying to get a desired color. So I recommend white. First thing I did was I base coated the wing, and then I just threw yellow on here. Now, see, I didn't go all the way to the end, and that's because I'm gonna blend it in, and I want this to be a thick yellow and this to be a thin yellow to be a little bit brighter, but you'll see where I go from here. It's just another look. Alright, then I took my orange. I mixed my orange-yellow mix, and I started dragging it down the fire, because the fire is going to get darker in the end, so we want to add layers. So I'm just dragging it down the fire. Alright, I mixed a little red in there. And now I'm dragging even further. Now, something I want to point out is that my paints are always mixed. This is a lot of water here. I want that because I don't want big areas of like just yellow, you know, to orange like we see right here. This is what happens when your paint gets too thick. But that's fine because I'm going to blend that in. Alright, another look at it as I pulled it all the way to the end of the model. Alright, next I added in some pure red. I mixed that over here, and I started to drag it down further. Now you can see in the tips, I did extra for the tips because we want the tips to be a darker color. Alright, another look at it. Now you can see the fire starting to form. And this just shows a contrast that you're going to see, contrast in colors, as it's starting to dry. And the next thing, I took another red, a darker red, and I dragged it down to the end. So I have a few layers by now in here. Now I'm going to blend all this in. I took the yellow and took it up higher, and as you can see, it's starting to blend the orange together. And I'm going to do the same with over here. And this is right when I got done. This is about 15 minutes. I dry brushed the tips a little bit. I painted 3 different colors on here, 1, 2, 3, and I let it sit overnight. And this was in the morning. Of course, it's a blurry picture, but you can see the wings here. Let's go back to this one. What I'm going to do next is I'll probably work a little bit more on blending the fire. I'll dry brush these, probably wash them, and then I'll probably highlight in the feathers. Probably a darker color, like a black tips, so that the color of contrast looks really good, like what we saw in the picture in the beginning of the slides. Another thing I wanted to make clear is these tail feathers here. Now, you don't want to end up with dark here and light up here. What you want is you want this streamline right here to be light, and you want it to get darker as it gets to the tips of the fire here. So you're going to have light yellow, light yellow, light yellow, and then you're going to have red, and then down the black. And that's probably how I would do it. I mean, this is just an example. I hope I answered your question. You don't have to go this route, but I just try to help you out. From my limited experience, I just started. But anyway, thanks for watching. This is Andrew at the Warrior Vault.